I have been on the receiving end of many an abusive direct message from Jake Paul. I could show you so many of them. How did Dana's nuts taste? And I said, how did Tommy Fury's amateur uppercut taste?
Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz.
Yeah, less enthusiastic. He's just an idiot, isn't he? You know, I've got nothing against Jake Paul. I don't know the guy. I'm sure he's a very nice human being. You know, so there's certainly nothing personal in me saying this. But as fighters, as a young man, as someone in the prime of his life, and someone that professes to be taking the fight game very seriously, and he's making that the main focus of his life, we want to test ourselves. There's nothing exciting and there's nothing endearing or rewarding about beating people that you know you can beat. And even up until now, that's what he's trying to do. He fought Tommy Fury, the first boxer that he's ever fought, and he loses. He fought a basketballer, he fought a wrestler, he fought Tyron Woodley. He was a wrestler with an overhand right, okay? He's never a boxer. Granted, he beat Anderson Silva, but he beat an almost 50-year-old Anderson Silva that lost his last 6 fights or so in the UFC. Against Nate Diaz, again, there's a risk because Nate Diaz is no walk in the park, but he's almost 40 years old. He fought the majority of his career at 155 pounds. Nate Diaz is as tough as they come, so it's not an insult to Nate Diaz, but it's an insult to Jake Paul because what he's done is he thinks he's being smart. He thinks, oh, he's almost 40, I'm way bigger. He's not a boxer because you eliminate, in boxing, he can't use his jiu-jitsu or his kicks. Nate has got decent boxing, you know what I mean? He can box, he can punch, of course he can. But he's smaller, he's older, and he's not a boxer. So it probably leans towards Jake Paul, and that's why he's doing it again, you know? So I have been on the receiving end of many an abusive direct message from Jake Paul. I could show you so many of them, you know, and then he was going back and forth, and I was like, mate, look, listen, I don't know you. I don't know, I've got nothing against you. I'm sure you're a lovely guy. I said, but you're not fighting boxers, and you're not fighting people your age, and you're not fighting people that even box. Do you know what I mean? So you got to expect some criticism. I'm not doing it because I don't like Jake Paul. Do you know what I'm doing it because it's kind of laughable.
Are you able to tell me anything that Jake Paul's told you on DMs, or is that for your eyes only?
I mean, excuse me, I've got a bad cough in a minute. Let's have a look. Twitter. I mean, there's loads. I mean, pick your platform: Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I mean, just the other day, out the blue, he says, "How did Dana's nuts taste?" And I said, "How did Tommy Fury's amateur uppercut taste?" He said, "I'm 26 and I made more in that amateur fight than your whole career. Now you're on your knees gobbling nuts and calling slap fights. You don't have the courage to stand up for fighters, blah, 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 blah." I said, all right, whatever. I said, did all that money buy you those super fast running shoes that you wore when you ran away from Floyd like a little bitch? Because he literally ran away from Floyd. I mean, listen, I know Floyd was there mob-handed, but no, you would never see me literally running away like that. And he did. And then he come back again, talking crap, and I went, okay, Disney boy, it's whatever. I'm not lowering myself to arguing with him. I just keep calling him Disney boy. But hey, good luck to him. I've got nothing against him. I just want to see him. I enjoy this Jake Paul experience, if you will, and I like the fact it's bringing a younger and different generation, different fans into combat sports. But just take a real challenge. You know, be man enough to do that, because it's only when you do that that you are going to get the respect from the fight community, which he so desperately yearns.
And I highly doubt, we were interviewing him when Tyson Fury burst into the room. I don't know if you've seen that, when Jake was saying, John Fury doesn't know shit, it's Sugar Hill Stewart that trains Tyson. And Tyson walks into the room and Jake is shit a brick. And I highly doubt that he would be as pugnacious and as forthright if he was sat opposite you like I am now. But that's the fight game, isn't it? It's trash talk.
Yeah, well, he would not be.
He wouldn't be.
He would not be, let me tell you that right now. If he was sitting right there, he would not be calling me all the shit that he did on Twitter. That's for damn sure. But you know what? I wouldn't do anything anyway. I'm 44 years old. I'm not an emotional wreck. I'm not a young child. I'm not immature. I'm certainly not going to lower myself to bloody scrapping in a hotel with Jake Paul. I would laugh and giggle like I have done the whole time with all his insults. I just rise above all that stuff. I'm a very mature gentleman these days.
Mike, I know we're a bit pressed for time, so thanks very much for putting the time with the chat. It's always a pleasure. Thankfully, we've been able to do it in person this time,
Absolutely, man.
As opposed to Zoom. But I'm a big fan. I'm very grateful for your time as well.
My pleasure.
Legend.
Thank you very much.
Mate.
Cheers.
All the best.
That's awesome.